2.2, adoption of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
So, Dan, second. Roll call?
Bab?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Schleichoff? Yes. Stuckey?
Yes.
1.3, can I get a motion for the approval of the January 14th meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bab?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Schleichoff?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And 2.1, we have the student presentation from 5 Points Learning Lounge. Handing
Okay.
it to you.
Yes, you guys can all head over to Ms. Hill and Mrs. Messer and kind of stand over by that podium, and they're going to kind of guide you through so you can tell us about it.
All right, so we'll start with introductions. I'm Mrs. Messer. I'm one of the fifth grade teachers at 5 Points Elementary, and this is my co-teacher. We work together.
I'm Ms. Tamillo, fifth grade also, and the student council representative.
So we are here today. We'll introduce ourselves first. So we'll start with our student council from last year. So these are some of the members from student council last year that helped propose and get this project going at 5 Points this year. So we'll start with Kenna. You want to say hi, Kenna?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Lauren. Hi, I'm Bryn.
I am Blake.
All right, and then we also have a couple students from this current fifth grade year to share about the center that is in the hallway and what their thoughts are on that. So we have,
Hi, I'm Hadley. Hi, I'm Sophia.
all right, so the idea, 5 Points student council members wanted to leave a gift that would make a difference. So there's a little bit of money that they could use, and this came from Ms. Tamila and I. We did a SEL cohort. So it's a 3-year phase. We're in 3rd year right now. So 2 years ago, we were in a cohort together, and we learned all about trauma-informed training. We read a book called What Happened to You by Oprah Winfrey and Bruce Perry. And so through that SEL cohort, we knew that this was something that we wanted to propose and bring forward. And so with student council, we kind of talked to them and we said, okay, what do you guys think about this idea? So that's kind of how it all started. And we have pictures at the end of what it looks like in the hallway this year, but we'll kind of go through that, what they came up with in last year.
So last year was the first year that student council got to, the first time in a long time, leave a gift behind for the 5th grade class. And so I kind of talked with them during our meetings and had them come up with ideas. And it was kind of a general consensus that they wanted somewhere to escape the loudness of a classroom, to extend their learning in the hallways with partners and groups, or if they just needed time to calm down and reflect, they had spaces that they could go by themselves. So do you guys want to talk about how we kind of came up with this idea last year? I know it was a long time ago. You need to rewind. We had talked about, we already have the extended ELAs in each section of the grade. And so we usually send kids out there to work in groups and partners already. So we kind of talked about giving us more flexible seating with that. And so ideas that they came up were standing tables, benches, stools, couches, to be able to go out and be comfortable while they're learning. And then they also talked about how they wanted an area to, if they were too unregulated, which was terms that we had learned in our SEL cohort, to be in the learning environment, to be able to go back into a space and have regulation before they could come back into the classroom. And so we were hoping that it would give them time to self-reflect, get themselves ready to be back to learning, and then they could come back into the classroom and be successful.
So one of the things that we did do is we interviewed you, a couple of you. Do you remember
did.
that? Do you remember what you said in the video? So we created a proposal to our principal, Mrs. Jung, and we shared that with her to see if she'd be on board with creating this space for kids. So do you guys remember anything you put in the video, what you shared?
I remember talking about how it would help people regulate their emotions outside and kind of calm down before going back into the classroom.
Yep.
I learned it helped us with anxiety and stress, because if something was too loud in the classroom, we would be able to go out and take that stress away.
talked about the zones of regulation, and we want to be in the green zone. That means we're ready to learn. But oftentimes we just need to recognize if we're not in that zone. And we want kids to be comfortable saying, I'm not in that zone. I'm in the red zone, which is angry. I'm in the yellow zone. I'm being too silly. So I'm not ready to learn. And recognizing that, sharing that, and then going out and using the space so we can be regulated again and get back to that green zone. So I love that you brought that up because that's perfect. All right, so we kind of already talked about this already, but the lounge will provide opportunities for movement, rhythm, and a feeling of safety. So one thing that we learned in the cohort is that in order to learn, we have to access the higher part of our brain. So we do need to we need to feel safe. And so when kids are not feeling safe, we want to have a place for them to go. Anything to add to that? Okay.
So this is the learning lounge part of it, and we kind of blocked it off. So we have black standing curtains that it's kind of about a 12 by 6 area. We put rocking chairs in there for the movement for children to go and kind of just rock. We have flexible seating in there. We have mindful books to let kids continue to read about how to be mindful in certain situations. There's soft lighting. My complete favorite of the whole area is we have a bubble wall. And so it kind of just gives you that like visual sensory, helps you relax. We have an oximeter to help them watch their heart rate. And then we have a ton of different sensory items for them to go in there and just kind of fidget.
You want to talk about the oximeter? Yeah, it just takes your pressure, your blood pressure on your finger. And so if they take it at the beginning, they can notice that their number's high. And then at the end, ideally it would be lower because you're more calm. It's a visual thing for kids to see and know that, ooh, this actually did help me coming out here and using that space. Do you guys want to talk about anything this is? You may introduce yourself, and we have another 5th grade student, Molly. But did you want to share anything from the space that we talked about? We call this the regulating center in the hallway. What works, what you enjoy, what you use, perhaps?
I liked that the squishies Miss Miller used to have, the marble maze to like help you, like so you could like fidget around. And I thought it was like really helpful because it helped you like calm down and get back in focus so you could learn. Well, like sometimes it's just good to just sit there and walk because like you just need to take a moment to get everything off out of your brain so you can just like focus.
Yeah, we often don't realize that rhythm that we need to regulate, and so rocking chairs is an easy thing to use to do that.
Even like being in a quiet space can help you like put your mind back onto what needs to be learned.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So here's a couple more pictures. We have one more person with us, Jordan. He's also a 5th grade student here at 5 Points. And so there's some pictures here behind us, and the one is, this is Ms. Tamila's idea, is to put this paper over the tables and they can use it for whiteboard work. So
Dry erase contact paper. So all of our tables out there are covered with it because I have learned that they do not like pencil and paper. They like to be able to do the dry erase. So all the tables have the dry erase markers. And there's a station out there that has clipboards. They have loose leaf paper. They have dry erase markers and erasers to be able just to kind of go out into a table setting and just be by themselves and work. Or if they're working with a group, they also have the area to spread out and look together.
We kind of talked about that. It's the heart rate. I think I said what the blood pressure last time, so that was incorrect. But it measures their heart rate. Here's some more space. We have Jordan. He's sitting here in the rocking chair using the Play-Doh. These are the books that we talked about that kids can choose. So it's just all out there and they can use what they need. And then there's our bubble wall. It also makes like a calming sound. And we have these sign-in, sign-out papers just so that we can get some data on, okay, what's working. So they put how they're feeling when they go in, how they're feeling when they come out, and then a tool that they use that was most beneficial for them.
It's also nice to have that data to track what students use the room and how often they're going into the wellness center. Because sometimes they may just they may be escaping the classroom or they may be going through something. So we can kind of see like, okay, this child's used this wellness center 10 times today or 10 times this week, which is kind of nice to monitor as you go.
So here's a couple quotes from some students. It's normally when I'm testing, like map testing, sometimes I'm either going a little fast or I'm stressed, so I use it. I normally use the Play-Doh and rocking chair to calm my mind.
Another 5th grade student said, it calms a lot of my stress down. When I'm OST testing, it's a lot of work, so I stop at a couple questions and I take a 5 or 10 minute break and I use some of the fidgets and then I check my heart rate and I just sit down until timer goes off and then I go back inside.
Yeah, we do have a timer out there that they can use as well.
I think that's it.
Did anyone else want to share
5th
anything?
graders want to add anything?
Or any questions if you have.
Or yeah, any questions?
I just want to say how amazing it is that you're normalizing that you go through tough times. So kudos to you guys, and the language that you guys used, so impressive of understanding yourself and where you're at, and just acknowledging that it's okay to need to pause and to take a break and to step away. So you're learning something in 5th and 6th grade that is something you're going to be able to use for life, and how amazing that this was because of you guys, the student council, that worked with your teachers to put this together. So this is amazing, and even some of with the trauma-informed care, you know, this is, people are going through hard stuff, and it's not that you have to be like a child that was removed from your home. That's very traumatic, but there's a lot of trauma and difficult times that kids are going through just every day, the testing and anxiety and stuff like that. So I love what you guys have done to really make it okay when you're struggling. We all need to do that, and that's a hard thing for people to do. So that's awesome. Is there ever, my question, I guess, for the teachers would be monitoring, like I love how you're doing the sign in, sign out type of thing to know how you guys can support. Are there ever behavioral things, or how do you know that kids are out there and staying out there? Is there a certain amount of time they go, or how do you work that?
So at the beginning of the year, we took both of our homerooms out. Actually, really all our hallway went out into the hallway, and we had a presentation for them about how we use it, what our expectations are. If you don't meet these expectations, you'll just lose the privilege of being able to use it. So the wellness center, we kind of leave unattended. We're aware when people are in it, but we give them their space. And then group work, we're up walking around, monitoring, constantly poking our heads out, making sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah, we limit everything, and they do ask, so that's one of the things that we want them to verbalize, is just recognizing their, and we'll suggest it too sometimes. Hey, maybe you could use the regulating center. And so, yeah, we do our best to monitor it. We have the timer out there. We'll sometimes check in on them, things like that.
Is this just for the 5th grade, like in your?
Right now it's our hallway, so there's 2 5th grade hallways, and so it's in our hallway right now.
Some of our aides that we share, we have one that's in 5th grade, and she also works with a 2nd grader, and she has asked us, like, do you mind if I bring my 2nd grader? I'm like, no, please, like, everybody can use it. So hoping that as we are used to using it and normalizing it more, that we'll have more grades come over to our hallway. Or get one in every hallway.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be? Yeah.
Plans to extend it, or even?
We talked about, last year in our proposal, we had talked about if it's successful, maybe this year's 5th grade class could be to do another hallway or to do another grade. So that is something that we have talked about.
But even at Dennis, like, it would be great to see,
Yes.
like, if it's something that we can share across the district, because I would echo what Mrs. Babs said, just in terms of, that what struck me was the incredible maturity of all of you to recognize, like, when you're feeling that way, and you need that time to sort of reset, and so it just strikes me as incredibly mature at your age, and so I just really want to extend my just appreciation for the fact that you're willing to look out for one another like this, and really take care of one another. So well done.
What was the cost to do like your hallway?
About $4,000.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
are gonna do a big group picture with the board and with you all before everybody kind of heads out. So if you guys can all come this way, and board, if you guys can come around, I'm gonna have you stand just so that we don't block anybody, but we'll make it pretty easy. So I'm gonna have all the students in the middle, our 2 teachers and board behind them. So we'll have 2 rows. Nice. So let's scoot up just a teeny bit and then scoot over this way just a tiny bit. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna put you on an M since you are one of my taller ones. You 2 girls are gonna make a tiny little V with this, and then you're gonna do a little bit. Yep. Okay, and scooch it just a tiny bit. This all looks so great. Yes. Oh, that looks fantastic. Okay, I just want Blake to. So you get.
Is he getting taller than me? He grew so much in a
You
year.
need to get yourself a little window. Yeah,
there we go.
One way or the other. There we go. Perfect. Well, we're gonna do a few. With our eyes closed. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Tight. All right, that should cover it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Nice job. Nice job.
Good job.
Excellent job. Thank you so much for being here.
We will give them just a minute to leave. Okay, 2.2 is the Springboro Education Association report. Is there anybody here? No. 2.3 is the Springboro Classified Employees Association report. No. 2.4 is public participation, and nobody has prearranged. 2.5 is public participation on an agenda item. And if anybody wanted to speak, there is a paper out there to put your name on. Okay, at this point, 3.1, we are going into a short executive session, RC 121.22 G1, to consider the employment or compensation of a public employee or official. And we will be back out in just a few. Oh, can we get a motion to go into executive session? Thank you. Dan and Sarah.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Bab?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Playhouse? Yes.
Thank you. For work session, and public participation comments are below that. 4.2, Mrs. Holtree with the Program of Studies.
Hello. Madam President and members of the board, I am bringing to you the 26-27 Program of Studies. I did submit this to you beginning of December. It was like the first draft, right? And so it was, a lot of changes have been made since then, right? A lot of tweaking, a lot of making the descriptions more concise. I have printed up for you kind of the major things, and a lot of these we talked about when we did the presentation. Leslie and I did the presentation in December. I think there might be 2 there. So I kind of summed it, you only want one? I kind of summed it up here. So these are the big changes, like you will notice is a lot of them we covered in December when we went through a lot of the new offerings that we had, the new pathways that we had, and et cetera.
So I will just start with, because this has been a thing for probably 10 years for me since I've been on the board, and it was just, and I know that there were changes since I asked my questions and
Yes.
stuff, totally get that, but it is just so impressive with where it's at and how clear it is, how much clearer it is for students. So thank you for just all of the attention and for getting it to us in December, and really, I mean, that was a ton of time to review, even, you know, you making adjustments still, but I just appreciate having the time to go through that, and then your time to respond to my questions. So
Not a problem, it was a joint effort.
Well, I was gonna say, I think submitting the draft to you all, you know, still in draft format to look at,
Yeah.
I think helped really kind of speed the process up and make it a little bit more fluid. I think that
Yes,
helped a
I
ton.
appreciate
So,
that.
And I think the only thing to highlight for me, well, obviously you see there, but really the big thing for us is the 3E framework that's in there. That really focuses, you know, on the pathways.
Yeah.
I think that's something I'm really excited about. That's unique and different. We attempted, if you notice, we attempted to try to put classes on a certain page. To just give a little insight, I say we, mainly probably me, I got really nervous with that because all of our classes are options for our students, regardless of what path you're taking. And so when you have the pathways, we kind of started noticing it was really kind of tracking kids a little bit, students, and just because you're going in employment doesn't mean you don't have the ability to take AP courses. Just because you're going maybe looking more towards the enlistment route doesn't mean you can't take, some of the seat tag courses or the satellite courses or even AP courses. So we got to the point where I said, look, if we're going to do all three pathways, we need to have all the options for all of our kids because they all have the option to take that. So that's why we end up removing that
Was
part.
that the piece that I said I really liked?
Yes, it was.
I was like, this is amazing.
Well, and it was partnered with the 3E, so it was kind of right after that. So we were able to keep that, but just, we were afraid we were going to get a lot more questions, and kids were going to feel like that they're being pigeonholed into certain classes depending on what path they're going. And we have kids that are going in all three pathways that take all kinds of different courses, honors, AP, and even satellite courses across the board all the way through. So we didn't want kids to feel like they were being pigeonholed.
So we felt like it was best to just stick with that blueprint.
Yeah.
And go with that.
That makes sense. Yeah. So I'm sure you were like, oh, this is great to see this. She loves it. We're removing it.
And we did like it, but as we started
Yeah.
working on it, it's like, okay, now we're leaving courses out, and
Yeah.
we're just going to add all the courses. Then why are we putting it in there? So.
Got it. Does anybody else have questions?
No, I just appreciate, again, the continual look at what can we offer our kids year after year. And I really do, I loved it too, but I really like giving kind of like an indication of, you can do this pathway or this pathway, but as you just said, like, you can take whatever class.
Right.
As long as you meet the graduation requirements, right? If that's an area of interest or a passion for a kid, like, they can take it, right? But I really also like too, like the part where it says you may expect to take like these assessments or you might have to do this. So I think that's even great too, just to give that further clarification of what to expect.
So then, once this is approved, we will go ahead and submit it again, and then they will make the table of contents page interactive. Okay.
Which remember last year was the first year we had that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it'll be interactive.
She'll do that
You
again.
can click on the link and it'll take you right to the page.
And everything will be ready to go by February 3rd?
And we'll start presentations for that
Yes.
next week
Yes.
in the scheduling season.
Thank
no
you.
question, just great work as always. It's a lot of hard work goes into it.
That's been a lot of time on the edit piece.
His people have two department chairs and counselors and everybody. So yeah, a lot of eyes on it.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have 4.3, Mr. Myers with the summer school offerings.
All right, I get to do this every year. They take about 3 minutes of your time. Nothing's really changed from last year. We're still going to offer the 3 courses. I do want to bring a couple things to your attention. If you're looking at the Springboro Summer School Board Meeting 2026, each year at the bottom of that, I try to project what next year's summer school will be. And that next year, for 2027, I put those dates in there. I don't want to mention them out loud, only because someone might get confused. So what I do want to say is in 2026, we're still looking at the May 28th through June 10th timeframe for original credit. June 19th will be for credit recovery, that they get to go a few extra days, take a little extra time in order to get that done. We're still looking for health, PE, and personal finance. Those are the big ones that we try to get. I always ask for 2 teachers, or 2 for PE, or 2 for financial literacy. We've never needed more than 1 health, 1 financial literacy, and then 2 PE teachers. So we've never been able to fill that many spots. However, I do want to make a point. Last year, our enrollment was down quite a bit to where we still were able to conduct all the classes, but there's a couple things that we're going to do this year is try to promote a little bit better with the junior high. But I also want to make a note to the costs. If you look at the costs, we're getting really close to, if I have 20 students, that's kind of my limit. If I don't get 20 students, I can't run a class. One of the nice things about summer school is they're smaller classes and you kind of want to run them. We have not changed prices, I would say, in almost 2 decades. So the prices of summer school has been at $150 for almost 2 decades. We may need to look at raising prices next year, just to put that out there so we can keep those class sizes at about 15. So was what I'd like to do, but right now we're at about 20. So just once again, just so you know, I'm looking ahead towards 2027, so I put those dates in there. Any questions?
Gas is what price back there?
What's that? Oh, if that's the price? Maybe we should just mimic that. Move the zero a couple spots. I don't know.
Do we offer this to other communities? Like, can somebody?
I am going to do that this year. With COVID, we took that out, but I'm going to open it up to other communities this year. I think we're at a point where we can do that again. The fear was that our kids, we wouldn't be able to take care of our kids, but I think we got the room.
Can we up it for them?
We do, by $25.
We do? Okay.
Not a significant amount. I mean, this is a pretty cheap option.
Yeah, it's
if
really
you think
cheap.
about it. But with a lot of online courses, the face-to-face is better. You'll never replace it. So.
Okay.
Tara, has the goal always been to be cost neutral on this? I mean,
Yeah, as we actually keep the funds in an 018 account, it's a cash account, so there is a little bit of cash in there, so it won't be under, but yes, we do try to make it cost neutral. It always has been like that.
I feel like this is in our best interest to catch these kids up, and I just wonder if, your point, not creating a huge price increase, but maybe we supplement it a little. I don't know. I feel like it'd be a shame to.
Well, we won't get, I mean, Mr. Martin and I find a way to make sure it runs.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Just
we
something
get plenty of PE kids and not as many in the other two, so we still find a way to make it run.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
4.4, do we have any committee reports? No. 4.5, discussion of other business as required. Anything? Okay. Next, we have Mrs. Stacy with the treasurer's report.
Yes, tonight we have a few donations. Item 5.1 is approval of a donation of $573.35 to the Springboro Interact Club, and the list of donors are on there. Item 5.2 is approval of a donation of $50 from Wright Smiles Pediatric Dentistry to the Springboro Junior High Show Choir. Item 5.3 is an approval of a donation of $50 from Jade Hike Camp to the Student Meal Balance Account. And item 5.4 is approval of a $50 Target gift card to be given to Stephanie Johnson. She's an intervention specialist at Dennis from her student portal.
Okay, 5.5, can I get a motion for the approval of items 5.1 through 5.4?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Bab?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Playhouse? Yes.
Okay, next we have Mr. Tudor with personnel report.
Good evening, Madam Board President, members of the board. I come before you tonight to seek approval for our personnel report. I know there's not a whole lot at this time. We have an EA that's going to be at Clear Creek and some adjustments.
Can I get a motion for the approval of the personnel report, please? Dan and Sarah. Any questions? Roll call.
Bab?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Playhouse? Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Gilbert with the new special ed bus.
Madam Board President, this evening we bring to the board the recommendation to approve for a new special ed bus. Due to a recent incident, we needed to replace it, and we are out of spares at this point, so we needed to really expedite the process. Many thanks to Ken McCune. He reached out to Cardinal immediately, and we found one that they had in stock, so we don't have to wait 8 to 10 months. And so this bus was competitively bid, so we feel comfortable with the price component. You talk about price escalation, though. These buses are going up in price, so we ask for your approval of the special ed bus this evening.
Does insurance figure in?
Yes, yeah.
Is it fully, that was my question, is
Yeah.
it fully covering with the insurance?
Oh, I don't know that yet. We haven't gotten that back yet. So,
So what we're gonna do
yeah.
is we're
We're gonna
fixing the
repair.
bus. We have no spares, and we always
Right.
need at least one spare, so they're gonna fix the bus that was hit.
I'm sorry,
And then
yeah.
we're gonna purchase a second bus,
Oh.
so that, once
Yeah.
that bus is fixed, that will then be the spare, and this will be a separate.
And this one.
Yeah, my apologies, I didn't understand.
We're just bringing it forward.
Quicker, that's correct.
Got it. I
It's a-
thought the other
it's-
one
It's an
was
additional
demolished.
bus, so
Yeah.
the original bus that got hit is being repaired. So that way we can keep it in our fleet. Yes.
Got it,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So,
Thank you for that
yeah.
clarification.
Apologies, didn't understand. My
No, it's okay.
apologies, yeah.
Can I get a motion to purchase a new special ed bus?
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Bab?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Playhouse? Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Mrs. Fultree, if you would like to do 8.1 through 8.3.
Okay. So, Madam President and members of the board, I'm seeking approval for the program of studies, the summer school agreement, and the MOU agreement between, for College Credit Plus between Sinclair and Springboro.
Can I get a motion for the approval of 8.1 through 8.3?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
Do we have any MOUs outside of Sinclair with other colleges?
I don't believe so.
No, this one, they require one, Sinclair does.
Oh, okay,
So
so
that's
like
why we bring
Miami,
this one.
Middletown does, okay, gotcha, I was gonna say. Okay.
And is Sinclair still at the cheapest, the floor? Okay. Roll call, please.
Bab?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Playhouse? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have, can I get a motion for the approval of the superintendent contract for Carrie Hester?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, at this point, it is, if any board members would like to make comments, I would like to start with that. My responsibility as a board member is to ensure strategic leadership that serves and equips our students, balanced with financial accountability to our community. Given the cuts that the state is making to our funding, we're at a point of having to make difficult decisions to meet our expected budget challenges in the coming years. I really do appreciate the great work that Mrs. Hester has done to improve our district's culture, but I do not yet have the confidence that the difficult decision that will need to be made will be done so with timeliness, coachability, and the ownership necessary. I would have supported a shorter contract or the inclusion of a limited buyout clause, but that was not the will of the board. So because of this, I will not support the 5-year contract, and I'll be voting no. Any other comments before we vote?
Yep. And this is in regards to 9.1 and 9.2, both Carrie and Tara. I think both of you ladies have a tremendous record with us at Springboro in terms of your your abilities, what you've done with the district, in terms of our performance, both financially and academically. I think you guys are both incredibly strong leaders. So, I do have confidence that whatever cuts the state continues to throw at us, which is quite unfortunate, your leadership is very important for us to get through those and navigate a way for us to find, continued financial solvency into the future. So with that said, I'm firmly supportive of giving you guys 5-year extensions. I think you are more than deserving of it.
Yeah, I would echo what Mr. Good said. Just I think, you've heard a couple of the points, the uncertainty that we are entering into with some of the decisions that are being made at the state level relative to our finances. And I think it's imperative that we have strong leadership to help us navigate through those changes. And so I am supportive of both Ms. Hester and Ms. Stacy continuing to help us navigate some of those challenges. And this is where I think ultimately the administration's job is to help go through and determine some of those options, but ultimately it falls on the board to really make those sorts of decisions, and in our community as well. And I have the utmost community, and so I'm supportive of doing what we can to
myself echo Dan and Jamie. No need for me to go over what they said, so.
Okay, thank you. With that being said, roll call, please.
Bath,
No.
Goods.
Yes.
Stuckey.
Yes.
Palage.
Yes.
Schleifer.
No.
Okay, 9.2, can I get a motion for the approval of the treasurer contract for Tara Stacy?
So moved.
Second.
Any additional comments? Roll call.
Bath,
Yes.
Goods.
Yes.
Stuckey.
Yes.
Palage.
Yes.
Schleifer.
Yes.
Okay, 9.3, announcements and future considerations.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I just really appreciated the kiddos coming tonight, and I mean, me personally, if we could find time for kids to come to board meetings, like, just to share like some of the different things that are going on in their schools, or maybe even staff to share what's going on. I know that's like extra, and by no means I don't love anything extra, but I do enjoy getting a glimpse of what, you know, how our kids are shining and how our staff are shining. So I really appreciate them being here tonight. It's such a great, you know, project, legacy to leave for the next grade level. And thank you again to Mrs. Fulcher for the work that you've done with, and Mr. Martin for the work that you guys did with the program of studies, and then with the summer school information as well.
Yeah, I would echo all of that. I appreciate the presentation from our students, and the work that went into the program study, all those things. I also want to just recognize all of the people involved in helping to prepare our campus to maybe return to school at some point this week. There's a lot of snow and a lot of work to keep our students safe, and I know there's been a lot of people that have been working tirelessly to help to get our students back, and so I just want to share my thanks for those efforts, and again, just reiterate, you know, to the discussion about, you know, our superintendent and treasurer contracts. I know we're facing this period of uncertainty with the state. Quite certain none of our cost containment measures involve not having a superintendent and treasurer. And so, again, for the reasons I stated earlier, I think we have the right people here to help us navigate through some of those choices that we'll have to make as a district.
I too want to thank the young kiddos there from 5 Points. I think I agree with Sarah that it'd be nice, and we do a pretty good job of having them here different times and so forth to present things to us. So we just got to make sure that they're continuing to develop and come up with new ideas, right, so that they can keep coming. Thanks for the donations, and once again, program of studies, summer school, Mike, and congratulations to Carrie and Tara.
Yeah, great presentation from the 5 Points folks. Interesting concept. I'd never heard of that, so that was great. Maybe I need one of those in my house.
$4,000.
Yeah, I think program of studies always looks fantastic, completely professional. I mean, just very, very impressive. So thank you for all the hard work that goes into that. And then finally, you know, I get asked many times what we do on a board of education, and while there are, you know, many things that we're involved in, I personally believe that our most important job is to hire the two folks that are sitting to the left of me, Carrie and Tara. I think that's by far our most important task that we have to do, which is to ensure we have the right leadership. So I don't say that lightly, nor do I take that responsibility lightly, and therefore having you know, Carrie and Tara here for the long term makes me sleep easy at night, because I think you guys are the right folks to lead us into the future, regardless of what craziness may come out of Columbus. You know, I think we'll get there as a team, but I'm looking forward to having you guys here for the next 5 years.
Sleep easier, but not with your back the way it is now.
That's my problem. Yeah, so thanks.
I also noted the parking lots and the huge things of snow, and obviously that's a huge undertaking from the team. So thank you for anybody who was involved with that. I thought it was neat to see we had both of them represented in the Springboro Neighbor. So if you're one of the lucky ones that gets this magazine, they did a great article around how they have advocated at the state level. So that was exciting. And I guess what I would like to look at possibly with the 5 points, what they did, I just think that's fifth graders doing it, sixth graders reflecting back, but obviously it's getting just that piece of fifth grade. And I think this is something, we need to normalize this starting with our youngest kids. And so it would be great, obviously they did it through the student council, or I'm not sure what, they said they had some funding for it, but if there are some things that we could do to help support that as a board, we have some things that we can, like through COVID, we did all the signs for teachers and stuff like that. If there are some other things that we could possibly look at with that, those dollars to help that, like Jamie said, through Dennis, but also through Clear Creek, and kind of have a plan, kind of like what we do with technology of equipping everybody. I think that is something, at least having some space that, like she said, the second grade teacher was asking, can we come and use this space? So if you've got a kid that's really struggling, that would just be something I would love to see, because clearly hearing, Jamie, you said the maturity of the kids, and that is the verbiage. So they're teaching them the real life skills of, and making it okay when you're struggling. So that was just a great presentation. So it was very exciting. So that's all that I have. At this time, 10.1, we will be going into executive session again. RC 121.22 G1 to consider the employment of a public employee or official. Can I get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Bab?
Yes.
Fitz?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Playhouse? Yes.
There will be no vote after executive session.